In solidarity and as a response to this call, a planning group was formed, Occupy Grand Junction, and multiple participatory info sharing sites were established. The participation of every person and every organization that has an interest in returning the U.S. back into the hands of its individual citizens is required. Our nation, our species, and our world are in crisis. The U.S. has an important role to play in the solution, but we can no longer afford to let corporate greed and corrupt politics set the policies of our nation. We, the people of the United States of America, considering the crisis at hand, now reassert our sovereign control of our land. Solidarity forever. Thank you again for coming out. Just a quick heads up, we got a little bit of a schedule going on. It's on a board over here. Right now we're going to have a couple scheduled speakers, and then it's going to be open mic. We're going to take a break for lunch, and then we'll have breakout groups after lunch, so each person can kind of go with the group that they have an issue, and we can share our ideas and then bring those ideas back to the General Assembly tonight. Thanks again for coming out. 6 p.m.
I'm going to introduce our first speaker. His name is Duke Cox, and please give him your attention. It should be good.
Stand up or wherever you want to be, it's fine.
Can you do me a huge favor while I take a photo? Can you
Morning,
put this
everybody.
on
Can you
here?
hear me? I am really honored that these folks asked me to come down here and say a few words. I don't really want to make a speech, but I do want to tell you a couple of things that I've had on my mind for some time, and I'm really grateful that they've given me the opportunity to say these things to you. For those of you who haven't been paying a great deal of attention to what's going on in the world now, I want you to understand that Occupy Grand Junction is just one tiny aspect of something that has turned into Occupy Earth. Because the problem that we face here as citizens in the United States is not just our problem. It's a worldwide problem. This is happening all over the world. What happened to our planet when the Iron Curtain fell was that we changed from a dichotomy in our society to a free-for-all. That was the opportunity that the free market capitalist folks who have the money decided it was time for them to complete their control of this planet and the economies that run it. This is not some conspiracy. It's been well documented. I would encourage everyone here to pick up Naomi Klein's seminal work, The Shock Doctrine, that explains in detail what's going on. My wife has just started reading this book, and I guarantee you it is one of the most enlightening books you will ever read. It's called The Shock Doctrine, and I encourage you to read it as soon as possible if you want to understand it. Today, the mission here is to occupy this space and to let people understand that we are the 99%. We are the people of this country.
Yeah!
Yeah!
99%!
And it is going to take you and you and you and every one of us to make this message heard. If I have a couple of seconds, I want to relate to you a story that has convinced me for the rest of my life that democracy will always work when the people who are involved in it understand their personal responsibility to make it work.
Yes!
When the oil and gas industry in this country, or in this state, moved into Garfield County, I like to tell people that it resembled nothing more than opening the corn crib and turning the cows in. The devastation that was wrought upon Garfield County by an out-of-control corporate entity was criminal, in my mind. After many years of hard work by a lot of people from all over the state of Colorado, we managed to change the law. We managed to institute new rules. It proves that democracy can work when many people are committed over a long period of time. It is absolutely critical that this day is not the last day. Every day, you must talk to everyone you know and let them know that the people united can never be defeated.
That's right.
Yeah!
Let me hear you say that.
The people
united can never be defeated.
I have seen in Colorado communities that were beset by powerful corporations from the largest and most powerful industry on the planet. They won because they were persistent, they were united, and they would never, ever give up. Never. And if you never give up, you can never fail. I want to read for you, just to close these remarks, a quote from John Kenneth Galbraith, who was a very famous economist back in the 60s. He was one of John Kennedy's advisors. I might even have it memorized, but I better read it so that I don't screw it up. The modern conservative is engaged in one of man's oldest exercises in moral philosophy. That is, the search for a superior moral justification for selfishness. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Duke.